Coffee Break with me. Woo! Hi guys! Welcome back to my channel. How are you today? Today I'm here with a review on a not so new anymore Too Faced product, the Too Faced Chocolate Bonbons palette. And Too Faced has been on a roll with these chocolate palettes. There are two previous in this chocolate series that they have. The Too Faced Chocolate Bar, the original, the one that started it all, and then the Too Faced Chocolate Semi-Sweet Chocolate Bar. I actually had the Semi-Sweet Chocolate Bar and I don't have it anymore. It was a palette that I never used except for peanut butter. If you guys remember that shade in that palette, I'm kind of hoping they release it in another palette that I like more. That palette was an impulse buy. My best friend Samantha and I were like, yeah, we need it. We totally need it. And I know she really likes that palette, but for some reason, I just never reached for it, so I got rid of it. But I do have the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette to use as comparison, which is one of my favorite palettes. I actually had I think I have a chocolate bar series of tutorials on my channel already because I really, really like that palette. And when I got this palette, I wanted to not like it. I really wanted to not like this palette. I thought, really, Too Faced? Like another chocolate bar palette? Are you serious? And I really like it. I didn't think I was gonna say that out loud, but I really, really like it. Now, I do have to say though, with these palettes, I get the sense of if you have one, you really don't need the others because each palette is a neutral palette with 2 or 3 pops of color. So it's almost like, which pop of color do you want? Do you want the turquoisey teal one, or do you want the hot pink and light pink one, or do you want the one with like a really deep wine and purple pop of color? Like, which one do you want? Which one's gonna look better on you? Do you have blue eyes? Do you have brown eyes? That's kind of how you pick the chocolate bar palette that you want. Which pop of color do you think you would reach for the most? Because other than that, the colors tend to be pretty neutral. But there are palettes that sway a little bit more warm. There are some that sway a little bit more cool. And then this one, for example, the chocolate bonbons, I think this one would be perfect for someone with medium to deeper skin tones because most of the chocolate or neutral brownish colors are a lot darker than you would see in the other 2 chocolate bar palettes. This palette does have a really good combination of satin, shimmery, and matte colors. In fact, how does Too Faced describe them? It describes it as a 16 matte and shimmer shades. I don't think it's safe to say matte and shimmer because some of them are more of like a satiny matte, and then others are more of like a metallic, not necessarily a shimmer. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring you guys in closer and show you a close-up of this palette and some swatches. So this is a close-up of the palette, and you can see it has 2 bigger pans. You have like this beautiful pearl champagne shade called Satin Sheets, and I'm pretty sure this has been in a palette before. That name sounds so... Wasn't there like a little metal, like one of the little palettes, the ones that, you know, the half-size ones, that had Boudoir, you know, the sexy eyes one? I think that one was a shade in there. And then you have Divinity, which is a matte, but it has a little bit of a sheen to it. I love using this as a brow bone highlight. It's such a beautiful color, and it has so much pigment. I mean, you could see a couple swipes and look at that. It's so beautiful. One of the reasons why I really enjoy the chocolate bar palettes is because of their blendability. It's one of those eyeshadow formulas that no matter how you layer it, what brush you use, it blends beautifully without blending away. I hate those eyeshadows that are so soft and so easy to blend, but they blend away if you blend too much. And these don't. They have pigment, so the color stays, but they're so easy to blend together or to create a variety of looks with many different colors and, you know, blend them together very nicely. So now I'm going to show you guys some swatches of this palette. So I'm going to start from left to right, and this is half of the palette, and then we'll do the other half. The first color here is a shade called Almond Truffle, and this is a really beautiful matte, almost like a taupey nude shade. And then next to it is Satin Sheets, that color I was telling you that I'm sure is from a previous palette. You can tell that's a really beautiful shimmer. This color here is Sprinkles, and it's a beautiful light pink, followed by Molasses Chip. This is probably my favorite color in the entire palette, including the formula. The formula reminds me of the new Makeup Forever eyeshadows. It's so silky buttery. This was one swipe. Can you believe it? After that, this one's a little, what's the word? It's a matte shadow, but it's really hard to build up. It's really hard to get like intense pigment out of without layering it like 4 times. This is the color Malted. And when you see it in the pan, it's a brown with like gold or copper sparkles, and you really can't see that. It's not hard, it's very hard to see. After that, we have Cashew Chew. This would be a really beautiful brow bone highlight for those of you with medium to deeper skin tones. Then we have this beautiful pink. I'm actually wearing it today in my eye look. It's called Cotton Candy. This color here is called Cafe au Lait. It's like a shimmery taupe. And then this one is one of the best matte chocolate eyeshadows that I've ever tried. This is one swipe of a matte brown shadow, and matte brown shadows are really hard to build up. It is so soft but completely matte. It's incredible. I was almost I almost had like my jaw drop when I swatched this one for the first time. I was like, are you serious? This is crazy. Moving on with the rest of the palette, this is the shade Mocha. What a beautiful transition shade. It's completely matte. Then this color right here, I didn't think this color was going to be as pretty as it is. This is called Black Currant, and it's a shimmery purple with gold or copper sparkle. Then we have Dark Truffle, a silky, super creamy blackened brown. Then a classic grayish taupe, a matte grayish taupe. This is the shade Pecan Praline. And then this pink was kind of a letdown. It's a little patchy, but if you build it up and you have patience and you use an eyeshadow primer, I mean, you can make it work. It's not trash. You know, you could totally make it work. I'm actually wearing this on my eyelid today. And then this one here is called Earl Grey. And I thought this was gonna be a little bit lighter than the way it shows up, but once you apply it to the skin, it doesn't look as teal as it looks in the pan. It looks almost like a blackened teal. The teal really doesn't pop. And then the last shade in the palette is a beautiful brow bone highlight. This is the shade Divinity. It's a matte vanilla shade. So those were the swatches. If you guys see the eye look that I have right now, I'm actually wearing Divinity as my brow bone highlight. I have a combination of Totally Fetch and Cotton Candy, these two pinks mixed together on the eyelid. So I built up the color, but I mixed them. So it's packed on the lid, but mixed together, the two colors. And then I have Almond Truffle and, no, just Almond Truffle. This color right here, I have Almond Truffle as my transition shade. And then in the actual crease, I have the shade Mocha. On the lower lash line, I smudged out Bordeaux, which is this beautiful dark chocolate brown. And I'm really, like I said, I wanted to not like this palette, and I actually really like it. But if you were to say, Dani, who is this palette perfect for? I would say someone that has medium to deeper skin tones and has cool undertones. The tones of these eyeshadows and the depth of the color is perfectly suited for someone with medium to deeper skin tones and cool undertones, possibly blue eyes. There are so many grayish, taupe, cooler toned shadows in here that it would look great. And the pops of color are deeper pops of color. It's not like a bright aqua or a light purple or lavender. It's a really, really, really blackened teal. It's a dark purple with gold sparkle. It's a hot pink. So the pops of color in here are definitely pops of color for someone with deeper skin tones. It's a really nice palette, you guys. I'm pretty fair and I really enjoy it. So when it comes to chocolate bar palettes, for me, I'm definitely a fan of the original and the bonbons. The semi-sweet just, it's good, it just doesn't really excite me, you know, like this one. I'm surprised I like this one. I know I keep saying that, but I'm really surprised how much I like this palette. So initially I wasn't planning on doing a review on it, but after using it a couple times, I liked it so much that I was like, yeah, you know, I need to get out there and I need to spread the message. Anyway, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I do have a tutorial on this look using this palette that I will link in the description box below. So if you're interested, check it out. And I will also link this palette in the description box below in case you guys are interested in finding out more information. I'd really like to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. And like always, if you found this video useful, entertaining, or learned something, please give me a thumbs up or subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, this coffee break is over. Bye guys.